One question, one tiny, seemingly insignificant question changed everything. It unlocked a dream I didn't even realize I had. It set me on a path to creating the biggest event I have ever thrown, the biggest project of my life. It became the catalyst for an entirely new chapter of my life and business. And the wildest part, I almost ignored it, almost dismissed it as impossible. But instead, I leaned in. I said yes. And what happened next? Well, let me take you back to where it all started. This is Superbloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. I'm your host, Moriah Riona, an award-winning luxury brand designer and certified life coach. On this show, I share all things coaching, luxury branding, and building the business and life of your dreams. In this episode, I'm sharing the story behind the launch of this podcast and the epic event that kicked it all off. It actually started in Miami, where I became life coach certified by the founder of the Life Coach School, Brooke Castillo. And I wasn't alone. I was with a group of 24 amazing women who were all becoming life coaches together. If you haven't already, you have to check out the 2-part vlog series over on my YouTube channel, where I share this entire experience with you. I promise you do not want to miss this. The links are in the description. It all started over lunch. I went to Miami last April for the Life Coach Certification Practicum. It was an intense 5 days, full of deep breakthroughs, powerful coaching sessions, and a level of transformation I hadn't fully expected. I walked into that experience one version of myself. I walked out completely changed. But one of the biggest shifts didn't happen in a coaching session. It didn't happen during a training or lecture. It happened over lunch. I was sitting with a group of my fellow life coaches in training, truly incredible women, sharing stories, talking about our lives, our businesses, our dreams. At some point, I casually mentioned that my 40th birthday was coming up. I really want to do something big for it, I said, but you can't throw yourself a birthday party because that's just how things work, right? You don't throw yourself a birthday party. Someone else is supposed to do it for you. But before I could say another word, Lindy, my friend and fellow life coach, turned to me, looked me right in the eye, and asked, why not? It was such a simple question, but it cracked something open inside of me. Because here's the thing, as life coaches, one of the most powerful things we do is help people see their own limiting beliefs. We help them recognize the rules they're following without even questioning them. And in that moment, Lindy did that for me. She didn't let me take that belief at face value. Instead, she asked me a question that forced me to change it. Why not? Why couldn't I throw myself the biggest, most incredible birthday party ever? And the moment she asked, I knew the answer. The only thing stopping me was me. Lindy leaned in the absolutely magical way she does, and she said, tell me about your perfect birthday party. And for the first time, I let myself dream out loud. I wanted something big, something luxurious, something that wasn't just a birthday party, but a true experience. I wanted my closest friends there, the most inspiring, powerful women I knew. I also uncovered another thought that wasn't serving me, that I didn't even have enough friends to throw a party, or that no one would come. But I looked around the table at all the incredible women going through the Life Coach Certification program with me and realized that wasn't true either. As I rambled about what my dream birthday would look like, Lindy listened intently. And instead of telling me it was too much or too over the top or too impossible, Lindy just smiled and said, that sounds amazing. You have to do it. Right there at that lunch table, the seed for my event was planted. A few days later, we flew home, and for the entire flight, I kept dreaming about my business, everything I'd learned and gained at Practicum, and my birthday. See, I had spent the last coaching session getting coached on how I wanted to make $1 million in my 40th year. And my 40th birthday was coming up in just a few months. Then it came to me, Superbloom. I knew this was the year I would superbloom. That word felt absolutely perfect. I knew it had to be the theme for my event and realized it was the perfect name for the podcast I'd secretly been wanting to start. And that's how this podcast was born. Superbloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. I knew I had to document my own journey of 10xing my business and kick it off with an epic launch party, which would also be my birthday party. I was so excited that Lindy, a fellow Colorado girl, happened to be on the same flight with me. I told her my idea and she helped me make it real. We visualized, we talked through ideas, we got so excited. We let ourselves believe it was possible. And then at my layover in Denver, something happened that made it real. Lindy could have easily grabbed an Uber home, but she didn't. Instead, she sat with me at my gate. She kept dreaming with me, kept pushing me to go even bigger. And then she did something that still blows my mind to today. She hired me right there at the airport gate. She looked at me and said, I want to work with you. I'm going to wire you the full payment for Luxury Brand Leader tomorrow. And she did. The next day, the money hit my bank account. That money became the seed funding for the Superbloom event, the first real investment in making this event happen. Hey Superbloom coaches, let's take a quick break. This episode is sponsored by my exclusive Luxury Brand Leader program. If you're serious about elevating your coaching business, then you have to check this out. Luxury Brand Leader is your chance to work with me one-on-one to totally transform your brand and realign your business for exponential growth. This is the only logo and website design program designed exclusively for coaches that builds your luxury brand and sets you up as the go-to leader you were born to be. Imagine a complete 360-degree luxury brand transformation done in just 90 days. You'll get personalized coaching, cutting-edge strategies, and the exact steps you need to become an unstoppable force in your industry. When you become a luxury brand leader, you can finally start to attract clients who daydream about working with you, and they're willing to pay the big bucks to make it happen. Imagine being able to unapologetically raise your rates, magnetize high-paying clients, create a captivating personal brand, and showcase your high-value expertise. Are you ready for a branding experience that will revolutionize how you show up in your business? Apply to become a luxury brand leader today at MoriahRiona.com. Remember, spots are limited and they fill up fast. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to transform your business. Apply now. When I got home, I was not the same person. The first day back, my assistant Sydney came over and I looked at her and said, hey, we're doing huge things this year. I took her out to lunch. I told her everything, my goal to hit $1 million, the Superbloom podcast, and my plans for this massive event. And then I said something that completely shifted my mindset. Until that moment, I had only had Sydney working 4 hours a week for me because I was afraid I couldn't afford any more. That day, I saw that fear for what it was. Lack mindset. So I looked at her and I said, I don't know what you're doing this summer, but I need you to work 3 days a week for me. And just like that, we leveled up. The next person I called, my brother, Zach. Zach is an incredible event planner and brand strategist out in California. He knows how to bring a vision to life, how to create high-end luxury experiences. So I called him and I said, I think I have a job for you. He laughed and said, oh yeah? I told him all about Superbloom, my vision, the experience I wanted to create, and without hesitation, he said, let's do it. And just like that, we had the dream team, Sydney, Zach, me. And we had 4 months to pull off the biggest thing I had ever done. The next 4 months were insane. We were dreaming, planning, executing every single detail, every moment. Every element of the Superbloom event had to be next level. And not only were we pulling off this massive event, we were also launching my podcast at the same time. It was intense, but it was honestly the most magical thing I've ever done. I learned so much about myself during those 4 months. I truly discovered how powerful I was, how powerful we all are when we set our minds to something. This event was a huge undertaking in a very short amount of time. And it was very expensive. It was a super risky move for me, but I did it anyway. I didn't let myself talk myself out of it, which is what I typically would have done. And don't get me wrong, there were plenty of bumps in the road. There were plenty of nights when I woke up wondering, what the hell am I doing? But instead of choosing fear, instead of giving up, every time I felt doubt creep in, I redirected my thoughts. My mantra became, this is meant to be. Everything will work out. And it did. 4 months after that one question, why not? I stood in the ballroom of the Ritz-Carlton Dove Mountain, looking around at the most incredible women gathered together for an event that was so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. And I knew this was just the beginning. So what happened next? Let's just say Superbloom exceeded even my biggest dreams, and I cannot wait to share it with you. So make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. The link's in the description. I'll be sharing the entire multi-day event in a brand new vlog series on my channel. And speaking of, I'm hoping this story inspired you. I really want you to know everything I talked about in this story is available to you as well. It's truly amazing what you can achieve when you finally start to believe in yourself. If you did find this inspiring, could you do me a huge favor? I'd love for my podcast to reach as many amazing coaches and female entrepreneurs as possible. And one of the easiest ways to do that is if you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you're watching on YouTube. And you can leave a comment 10x below. Or if you're listening, subscribe to this podcast and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. I'm going to leave all the links in the description, and I'm so incredibly grateful for your help. Remember, this podcast is all about helping coaches 10x their businesses. So let's help each other get there. Thanks for listening to this episode of Superbloom Coach, the podcast for life coaches ready to 10x their business. If you enjoyed today's episode, I know you'll love my free course, 5-Figure Clients, the secret to attracting high-ticket coaching clients. Inside, I'll show you how I went from attracting bargain hunter clients to exclusively booking clients at a 5-figure price point. If you're ready to start working with clients who understand the tremendous value you bring to the table and to stop working with clients who don't, then this course is for you. Over 4 days, you'll learn why offering a high-ticket service is better for you and your client, how to craft your irresistible high-ticket offer that practically sells itself, and the 2 things you need to convey in order to sell high-ticket services. Also, how to position yourself as a luxury brand leader so you can charge a premium for your top-notch services. Sign up now at MoriahRiona.com/free-course and start attracting those high-ticket clients today. Don't miss out on this valuable opportunity to elevate your coaching business. Get instant access to your first lesson. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to Superbloom Coach so you never miss an episode. We've got some incredible content lined up to help you 10x your coaching business and achieve your dreams. If you found value in today's episode, can you do me a quick favor and leave a review? Your feedback helps me reach more coaches like you who are ready to elevate their business. Thanks so much for listening. I'll see you next time.